El Mirage versus Surprise. We got another one for you guys. City versus city, and these two cities are right next to each other. You can walk right across the street and you can be in one city right from the other one. So great one today, El Mirage versus Surprise. So same routine, housing and affordability, schooling and crime. So we'll jump right in. And we're going to go housing and affordability. Which one is the best one to live in if you're on a budget, if you're looking to get in to a house as a first-time home buyer? So let's take a look. El Mirage is actually 20.5% less expensive than Surprise housing costs. So if you're looking to get into a house, if you're looking to move as a first-time home buyer, El Mirage is definitely going to be a lot more affordable for you than Surprise. And it's pretty much the same area, not too far out from Surprise. I mean, Surprise is right next door to El Mirage, so it's not really out of the way. So a lot less expensive in El Mirage than Surprise for housing. But the cost of living is pretty much the same in El Mirage and Surprise, probably because there's so many similar things in the vicinity. You can go to the same places whether you live in Surprise or El Mirage. So cost of living, pretty much even, but affordability of the housing definitely goes in favor of El Mirage. So we'll give El Mirage the win on housing and affordability. All right, education. This is one of our most popular categories and one of the categories most people look at, especially if they have children or wanting to start a family. So El Mirage had 16.3% fewer residents who graduated high school compared to Surprise. So this is a pretty big statistic in the sense of they're so close to each other. It's really interesting how one city, not too far out from the other city, has such a lower percent of high school graduates. So something must be going on out there in El Mirage. So Surprise definitely has a higher percentage of high school graduates. The schools are ranked higher in Surprise as well. So it looks like the education category is going to go to Surprise. Now, you may not have kids. This may not be important to you. So if it's not, go ahead and disregard this category and we'll focus on the other two categories. So we're going to have to give this one to Surprise, and it's all tied up. Surprise wins the education category. All right, crime, our favorite category to talk about. Now this one's, people tend to worry a lot when I bring up this category. Any percentage is not going to mean it's the worst place to live. You shouldn't live there. I mean, there are places that are definitely more dangerous than others, but you got to remember, crime happens in the best of neighborhoods. So we'll start with property crime. So El Mirage has 39% more property crime than Surprise and 56% more violent crime than Surprise. That's a huge percent. That's a huge difference in violent crime from El Mirage to Surprise, especially, like I said, they're so close to one another. So now the picture is getting clearer. So not saying El Mirage is a horrible place to live for anybody living in El Mirage, but comparing it to Surprise, the education's better, there's less property and violent crime. Hands down, Surprise dominates this category. Crime category, win for Surprise. And with that being said, Surprise takes the victory. Really not very competitive at all. The only category El Mirage put up a little battle is the affordability and housing. So the housing is definitely more affordable, but when we look at those two other categories, we kind of see why the housing is more affordable. I mean, the crime rate is not the best, the schooling is not the best. So, I mean, it makes sense. They have to compensate with their housing prices. So that's the battle for today. Surprise takes the victory, and we'll see you next time when we put our next two cities against each other. Talk to you guys next time.